Okay, start recording, Moro. Start recording. So just recently we had some defamation against us. Had someone making some pretty serious accusations. It was perpetrated by a member of our group, someone that we all trusted. And what she did, right? She took all these screenshots of our private Facebook page, where we have different discussions on things. She took all these screenshots, right? And she posted them in various places that were frequented by feminists. And then she made up all these lies about our crew, basically, and the people in it. Now, you might be a bit shocked and chagrined and wondering, okay, well, why did she do that? Well, it's because we were talking about friend zone, and that was more than enough justification for her to do that. Basically, her reasoning was that friend zone isn't real, and that it's something that's imaginary that entitled people make up to demand sex, and that it's part of this rape culture. Firstly, friend zone is something that exists. It's more than possible to have feelings for someone and for them to not have feelings for you, and to be friends. It's something that it just happens, you know. And to say that it doesn't exist, that's just nonsense. Secondly, this friend zone has nothing to do with sex. The part that is imaginary, though, is this so-called rape culture, right? There simply isn't such a thing, okay, as a rape culture within our society, right? Something like rape is absolutely considered a horrible thing. It's absolutely condemned everywhere. You know, there aren't people that go around wanting rape or that are encouraging rape. It's just nonsense. That doesn't exist anywhere. Well, yes, bad things do happen to people, but should we then accuse people of perpetuating a murder culture? You know, because murder happens. It's nonsense. It's just absurd. This rape culture business is just a made-up concept. It's not something that actually exists within society. Now, there are people out there that will actually tell you, oh, no. Feminism isn't about extremism. It's not a hate group. That's just a misrepresentation. Feminism is about equality, these people will say. Well, all right, let's have a look at some of this equality. Now, here's some of the things that were said about our crew. This right here, this is exactly what feminism is. Our only crime was talking amongst ourselves in a private group about something innocuous. The accusation of having 3 proven rapists, that's all she has to say for it to be taken as 100% factual, where the accusation itself is viewed as the evidence. And here, she names 3 people in the group, right? Including herself, and says that they've been attacked. Now, you'd think that this is something you should be taking to the police. So why isn't she? Well, because 2 of those people haven't even attended a single meeting. Lorraine being the only one that has attended 1 meeting. It's a bit hard to be the victim of an attack when you're not even physically fucking there for it. So you get the idea. She posts in various places about how awful we are, how we're supporting this rape culture, and talks about how she's been observing the group like she's some kind of gumshoe, even though she hasn't even attended a single meeting. Amazingly enough, not one person questioned any of her lies. They all believed it, and they believed the accusation was the evidence. One of them even asked me, how would you like it if some guy demanded sex from you? We weren't even talking about sex. Well, how would you like it if I went around town and told everyone that you were a proven rapist? Then you have people saying, oh, no, that's not real feminism. That's just this fringe outside group. That's this rogue element. They're just this radical minority of feminism. Except this sort of behavior is very common. This is what happens time and time again. For example, not too long ago, someone made a petition that was entirely full of lies and basically slandered the entire gaming community as rapists and misogynists. And if they're such a minority, why did over 40,000 people sign that thing? Almost 50,000 signed it. And in just a few days. Yeah, that's quite a large fucking minority. Why did so many people actually come out against Gamergate? So many will ironically say that Gamergate is that Gamergate, that's a harassment campaign against women. It would be like me saying the fight against Ebola is a campaign about slavery. Okay, when so many people are willing to slather as much mud as they can on such a noble cause, that has nothing to do with harassment. It never was about harassment. How can that be seen as a minority? Not too long ago, we had some success with the Rosetta mission, and then you had this enormous amount of people harassing that Matt Taylor fellow until he broke down and cried on TV. And this was over a t-shirt. Then all these news sites and bloggers reported on it, painting him as a misogynist. Were all those people a fringe group? And just recently, a fellow by the name of Total Biscuit actually received an enormous amount of harassment from this minority. People were calling him a monster and hoping that he dies of cancer and asking, oh, why hasn't he died yet? I hope the cancer quickly takes him, and just stuff like that. And fucking hell. And you hear about that and you think, holy shit, he must have done something, really horrible to get that kind of backlash. So what did he do? He linked his followers, his viewers, to a charity stream. He gets called a monster for linking people to a charity. There's also an interesting choice of words when they started talking about cancer. As it turns out, Total Biscuit actually has and is fighting against cancer. Now, these people, the feminists, would like nothing more than to have everything you say, everything you express, artistic or otherwise, everything you think of, vetted by them. Oh yes, that video game has the correct representation of women. Oh no, that character is dressed too sexily. That one has to go. That comment is an acceptable one. That thought is acceptable, but this one isn't. And if they don't get their way, they'll perform all sorts of mental gymnastics in order to harass and vilify you. In fact, the accusations against our crew came about because we weren't permitted to talk about something that was completely innocuous, and started threatening us if we didn't change our thinking. Okay, their actions expose them for what they truly are: vicious, deluded, self-righteous abusers. John Cleese said it well when he said, the biggest enemy of an extremist is the moderate. So just like any other extremist hate group, all you have to do is simply ignore their demands and keep going about your business. You don't change a damn thing. Our group has always been a place of free speech, free thought, and free expression, and we're not going to change that. We'll always speak our piece. We're not going to be bullied or harassed into self-censorship, and if we choose to, we'll speak out against hateful extremism. Okay, I have every right to speak out against hateful extremism, to call out this despicable harassment. When they start slinging around false accusations, that's when you start demanding evidence. None of this listen and believe bullshit.
One of the most radical things you can do is to actually believe women when they tell you about their experiences. Thank you. A massive and terrifying assault directed at the female fans. They have viciously and aggressively come after me by any means necessary, built on a foundation of victim blaming and deep-seated misogyny. Cyber cesspool functioning as an incubator for misogyny. We see an aggressive denial of women's experiences, further fueled by a deep underlying distrust of women. The cultural, political, and economic structures of the medium are in the process of fundamentally transforming. That metamorphosis is happening slowly and sometimes painfully, but it's happening. The tide is turning in gaming. Where is that army? Seriously.